Reflection on the Gospel of St.Mark, chapter 8, verses 27 to 35. Messiah is an anointed or consecrated one that designates the long awaited Savior. The apostles discover that Jesus is the Christ, the Liberator. Jesus' mission consists of his deeds and highlights his passion and death. He wishes to clarify his identity with his disciples. Peter's confession of Jesus as Messiah is apparently correct, but still he thinks of him merely as a miracle making Messiah, a person of grandeur. But Jesus' prohibition not to reveal his identity makes it clear this title can only be misleading until people have experienced his passion and resurrection. His messiahship is complete only in his cross and death. Jesus makes the first prediction of his passion. He teaches his disciples that the Son of Man to suffer many things. The Son of Man is a figure who gloriously comes from God at the end of time to judge all people and to rule all the nations. Secondly, it means a real man, plainly and simply a human being, sharing the destiny of humanity. Jesus identifies himself with lot of humanity. Jesus has to suffer because he undertakes the fate of sinners. He has to suffer and be rejected by the authorities because this is the destiny of those who proclaim the truth. He has to freely go to his death because self sacrifice is the only means for the salvation of the world. Jesus' prediction is immediately resented by Peter. It is evident that Peter and other disciples expect Jesus to be a triumphant Messiah and not a suffering Son of Man. Peter's reaction betrays the position he occupies, satanic opposition to God's will. Peter represents the natural reaction of all people to suffering and failure. But Jesus' instruction goes on to stress the role of service and consequent suffering, which will be the lot of his disciples. Jesus himself will prove his messiahship as the suffering servant spoken in Isaiah. Jesus tells us that to follow him is to follow the same path that took him to the cross. To reach Christian maturity, it is necessary to renounce our life, that is, risk ourselves for something noble instead of being concerned about our security. We must find a lifestyle that will help us excel in the way of self sacrificing love, and we must accept that our life may be regarded as a failure according to other people's way of thinking.